welcome back to the club. Today we have a very interesting topic, you guys. We're going to be talking about where sexuality fits into media, okay? We're your host. I'm EboneChatman.
And I'm Akilah Ffriend.
And we're so excited to bring this topic to you guys today, okay? So today we're going to be talking about sexuality in media. For as long as I can remember, like, don't you remember like hearing this phrase, sex sells?
Girl, people say it till the cows come home.
Seriously, like that is what, I mean, that's what's still putting out there. I mean, I feel like that's been in the beginning of media and it's still in 2021. We're still talking about the fact that sex sells. Why are we so obsessed with sex? I don't know, but we're gonna figure that out. We're gonna talk about it today. But who exactly are we selling sex to? Like, who's selling it? Who are we selling it to? How does that work? Okay, you guys, so if you haven't heard, which I'm sure you have, but if you haven't, in recent news, Chloe Bailey got her own Instagram, y'all, and she is having the entire net in a frizzy right now.
They are it down. Come on, Chloe. Okay. Chloe from Chloe and Haley, if you don't know her by herself.
She's an artist.
Right.
And like Beyonce, she's Beyonce's artist, and she's signed to Rock Nation.
To Parkwood.
In Columbia. Okay. And so, anyway, she has her own page, and so she's been posting very provocative, sexy videos and photos. I mean, her and her sister are a duo. They have an image of kind of sweet girls. But they've been very sexy too in their videos and what they sing about. So it's not like something new. It's just something we just haven't fully seen from them. They're more on interviews or on Instagram, you know, talking or singing. It's never been anything very sexy. So Chloe has her own page. She is doing the silhouette challenge, honey, walking around in her bra and panties, hunty, doing, you know, saging the house. So we're gonna talk about it. So really the question is, does sexuality have a place in media? Does it hurt your career or does it help it?
Oh, and you know, for that, it kind of goes back to what you were saying, the original idea of sex sells. So would it ever hurt your career when you're really taught from the get-go in some capacity that you being a sexual being or having some sort of having sex a part of your brand, that's only going to quote unquote help you sell whatever it is you're trying to sell? So I think, you know, with your question of like, does it hurt or boost your career?
Right.
You know, I hate to be on one or other side of the fence because it truly does depend, but I think it's one of those things where it's like, if you're gonna incorporate sex into what you're doing, you better be sure. You better be sure, because it's one of those things where it's hard to double back on. I know Drea said your wholeness could be deleted, but I don't think so. I think it's a no for me, dog. I feel like it's very tough to go from, let's say if you start out being sexy and then you want to kind of clean up the image. It's hard to do that in a full way. On the flip side, if you were, let's say Rihanna did her Good Girl Gone Bad, and now we kind of always see her not necessarily like a sex symbol, but at the same time it's like she's got that. You would say sex symbol?
Totally.
I think she's got the sexiness. When I hear sex symbol, I feel like that's purely sex. What it is.
Okay.
But she's got like just a sexiness, a fierceness about her that I think most people, when they say they want sex sells, would want to aspire to, where it's not like you don't see Rihanna and think sex. Well, I'm not a guy like thinking like that, but I feel
maybe a man does.
Maybe a man does, but I see Rihanna and I see Boss, I see Empire, I see like all that kind of stuff with a hint of she's sexy. You know what I mean? Versus that being all you see. Yeah, so I mean, I think in terms of just does it hurt or boost your career, I feel like it just depends on how you brand yourself and how many times, what percentage of sex do you want to put in your overall brand pot? Like,
yeah, you know what? I think that sex sells, and I think that I'm not going to say it hurts your brand. I think there's a transitional stage of it hurting your brand, because at the end of the day, this is what's going to happen. You're going to lose fans, but you're going to gain different ones. You're going to just appeal to a different audience. So the audience that so for Beyonce to like bring that up as an example, like she was in Destiny's Child, super innocent, you know, singing like, I'm not going to let a man, you know, do me wrong, blah, blah, blah. And
I need a soldier.
Okay. Right. And then all of a sudden it was like, she went on her solo career and she did like 6-inch heels, talking about having sex with Jay-Z in the back of the car, and how she, you know, she messed up her dress and took her 45 minutes to get ready, and he, you know, they're not even gonna make it to the event and all this stuff, right? And parents were like, oh my gosh, let me clutch my pearls. Like, I can't believe she's thinking about sex and thinking about it in a way that's so out there. She, you know, my little kids look up to her or whatever. So she might have lost some fans there, but like now look at like how she's transitioned that into being bigger than life. So she definitely appealed now to a more grown up audience as a grown up artist, right? With the Chloe and Halle thing, or you know, even with anything, I feel like there's such, it definitely depends on what you want to put out there. However, I do feel like her, for example, the artist Her, we didn't even know what she looked like. That's a good point. In the beginning. We had no idea. We only come to her or her page, or you follow her, or you're a fan, because her voice is beautiful, her message is beautiful, and you like her music. Like, that's it. There's no extra sexy, you know, naked photos out there of her or anything we've seen, at least. So it's definitely kind of one of those things where it's like, well, what exactly is it that you want to be putting out there and selling? Because, you know, Chloe has a beautiful voice. And has made money and has had a fan base with her acting and her singing with her sister. So it was like, it didn't necessarily need to be like on the net with the sexy. Oh, you don't think? Okay, so let's backtrack for the people real quick. So what Chloe has done so far, and if you haven't checked out her Instagram page, like totally do it, because I mean, she's doing it. I think where it first broke the internet in a sense with her doing the Bust It challenge. So her version of it, super cute, super, you know, I thought it was awesome, but I think it was just probably what she was wearing. It was the twerking. It was the booty was moving. Everything, you can see it, but it was also very much like, if you're going to do a Bust It challenge, commit to the challenge. And that's what I think she did. And so I had no problems, no qualms. And then beyond that, she did the silhouette challenge as well, when she made it to 1 million follows. And this is after, I think she's been on Instagram for a week or so. So it's very much like Bust It challenge blew it up for her. And then, you know, solidified that she is going to be posting more racy-ish videos and things of that nature. So she did the silhouette challenge, her dancing in her room to celebrate 1 million. And then I think folks started getting a little, you know, like, okay, girl, is this really the avenue that we're going? Because then she then did a video with her saging her room. Her room, and she was in like a shirt and like nude colored panties. And again, for me, I'm more so like, one, you're a pop star. There's things that you get away with that, let's say, everyday women, if they were doing it, yes, they're more likely to be labeled this or that, unfortunately. But at the same time, if this is the brand that you want to put out on top of, like, you're not, I'm like, I don't want to see you on Instagram every day singing clips of your song or singing your new album. Like, if this is an entirely new medium, if you want to solely do studio related things, be in the studio. Perhaps, you know, do something on audio where we're just listening to your voice. But the fact that you came on Instagram and you're doing this, it's going to be more of a visual standpoint. So I don't personally have an issue or would label this as like, you know, potentially her being too sexy. I won't agree with the idea that she didn't know what she was doing. She knew what she was doing. Like, you knew what it was when we saw the apology. Right? We were like, okay, girl, but you posted the video with your underwear on. Like, you knew it was gonna get some type of attention. Like, I was telling Akilah, I was like, low key, when you see the video, I think it was one of those things that's like, you know, all my girls out there, it's like, if you ever texted a man or a boy and you were like, I know what he's gonna say already, like he probably won't like this, or maybe he will like this, or you know, being a little passive aggressive, so you like stick your toe in the lion's den to see if he'll bite, and then like you get a response back just to see what he says. You get me? I feel like that's literally what she did. She was like, I'm gonna post this video, it's kind of cute, I have 1 million followers, and I know that like people are gonna like it, and like I'm just gonna post it to see what people, I don't think she expected it to get backlash, right? She knew what she was posting for sure. Like how you don't post an underwear video on the gram and think that you don't know what you're doing. Sorry. Totally. And you can make it cute, and that's what I think she did. And that's the thing where it comes to, in terms of the brand, she's not full on, or she's not trying to be full on sexy. It just so happens she wants it to seem very effortless. And I think she's achieving that, and I think
haters gonna hate, because I'm kind of like, it's okay. It's okay for her to do that and still be all right. Again, knowing her profession, knowing what her brand really, what she wants to do and who she potentially wants to be outside of music, who knows. And this is just a good way for her to start, showing people like, no, don't look at me solely as I'm someone's sister. We're a duet on a group singing R&B, and R&B is a very sensual
but do you
thing
think
as well.
True, it is. And I think, she's always been labeled as the more curvy one, more sexy, whatever.
Totally.
People, men are more, attracted to her because she has the curves in the butt and the waistline and all
right.
that. But do you think that, putting this image of you online, of her online, with being quote unquote sexy and showing off her body, like, you can be sexy and not show off your body.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying? And we've seen them in like little cutoff outfits and this look, so we haven't not seen her body.
Yeah.
So do you think that it's doing too much? Like, do you think that her posting these types of videos, it's like, girl, we know you're sexy, we know you're beautiful. Like, do you think it's doing too much?
It's never too much.
Never too much, according to Akilah.
Never too much. I think what it is, it's more of like just know what you're doing. Again, it kind of goes back to the brand. Like, it's hard to backtrack. You're dipping, like you said, the toe in the water. Right. Homegirl is in to her knees at this point. So it's kind of like, you just know what you're doing, girl, because it makes it a little harder to then believe it if you want to be taken like super first lady seriously.
So do you right? So do you think that women who post sexy items like this, it affects how serious they are taking in the industry? I would say yes and no, and I feel like it's a super slippery slope, and it's hard to say, but I definitely feel like if you're posting sexy videos and pictures and you haven't done this before and you're kind of exposing yourself to this thing, not just Chloe, but to anyone, I personally feel like it does muddy the waters for you, because men are going to look at you differently. Men are going to be now lusting. And if they were lusting before, they're drooling now. You know what I'm saying?
And like, women might look at you differently too, just whether or not the attraction level, but more so of a sense of like,
how serious are you? Like,
right.
Did you sleep your way to the top? Like, you hear that stuff all the time. And so it's like, if you're putting these types of things out there online, it's literally like Akilah and I, like, all of a sudden posting, like a thong bikini on our Instagram. It would be like...
And there was a long time, even from, before Instagram really kicked off and everything, and being of age to really do whatever, but like, there was a long time I wouldn't even post bikini photos. Like, I wouldn't even post photos of me at the beach or anything like that, because I was just super conscious of like, oh my gosh, how would this look for this or that corporate job, or what I'm trying to do, or this and that. Like, I'm not there. But then it became a thing where it's like, that's not all I have to offer, and I've showcased enough that that's not all I have to offer. So I think it's one of those things here where she's already showcased enough. Like, she's a singer. She's a successful singer. She's a Grammy nominated singer at this point. So it's kind of like, okay, so I want to post some videos of me doing my thing, and taking Chloe out of it. If other folks want to post a little more like sexier photos, again, it's more so just know before you do this. It should be a rebrand. It shouldn't be the first, like, this is me getting to know you, or as the public getting to know you.
Right, you don't want to step out.
First, you step out looking like this.
Unless that's your brand.
Exactly.
Okay, because Amber Rose, Black China, Drea, I feel like that's all their brands. And they came out the gate swinging with the sexy. And but my point is you look at those women, and personally, anything else that they do outside of being sexy and posting naked videos and whatever they do, it's like, how serious can you take? That sounds crazy, but it's just true. It's just like, how serious am I going to look at you to be like, oh yeah, I really value your opinion, unless it, something that has nothing to do with like stripping or what it is that you put yourself out there in a brand already. So it's like, am I going to see Amber Rose on, E! Entertainment talking about this or that celebrity, or unless you had some tea, like
I'm not gonna be on CNN doing this and that,
doing a commentary. It's like, do I care to listen to? Am I taking you seriously, considering you're posting your behind all over the internet? Like, for real.
And that's the thing you got to think about. That's it. I think like the other part too was just thinking about like where where do celebrities or where do folks in general who want to do their thing when it comes to media, when it comes to just being, seen in the public eye, like where do they really get the opportunity to grow out of, whatever,
like perfect image, I think that's such a good question. Mm-hmm. I think as women, we're very complex. We have a lot of, different inner beings, if that makes sense. Like, you want to be sexy, you want to be smart, you are all of these things. So that question's hard because it's like you want to give people an opportunity to grow because for example, again, like to bring it back to Beyonce, it's like you as a 16, 15, 20-year-old woman is different than you as like a married 36-year-old woman with three kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, or a 40-year-old woman. Like, you are different and you express yourself differently. Your sexuality is different. You're more comfortable with yourself. So it's like you are singing about different things. You have different experience, right? Yeah. So it's like you grow as a person. So then you want your artistry to also reflect that as well. Growth. You know, the growth of who you are as a person, what you've learned, what you've experienced. And music is such a personal thing. Mm-hmm. I think with any art or any part of like creativity, it's such a personal thing. Anyways, to answer the question, I feel like there's an opportunity to grow, but I think it's just how you do it. Yeah. Right? Like Miley Cyrus, no, she's not black, but just to bring her up, she went all the way left when it came to the sexuality.
Came in like a wrecking ball. Literally. It was just like
twerking on the stage, grinding her behind on Robin Thicke, like tongue out, like just doing the absolute most. And when I tell you, she received so much backlash from that. Absolutely. And Beyonce too received backlash from it.
Megan Good. We were talking Megan Good, with the idea of her at first known super sex symbol, like, cousin Skeeter, girl next door, really like everyone loved Megan Good. Turned around and dated or married a pastor, and now the expectation that she now, again, what we were saying from the opposite end, there's one person like Miley Cyrus who wants to shed that good girl image. Megan Good, in a sense, wants to
she kind of back into
it, and kind of that idea of like, where is the opportunity to grow in this image that you yourself created and society kind of then doubled down on? How can you grow out of that?
Right. Do you think it's a fair assumption to see someone one way and then they decided to grow or change and now you have to adjust, right? I was telling Akilah, like, I really feel like it's like parents are like, we as the internet, as the people of the consumption, we act like parents. We're like, oh my God, this person is getting up and going to college and living their life and doing their thing. I wasn't ready. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's legit how I feel. Sometimes society like attacks women with like their images. I don't think that we have the same issue when it comes to men.
No. Not that or it's probably not in the same way, at least. Like, I can't think of an example, and if you guys
because there's zero, there's zero. I mean, D'Angelo, right? He had the whole ab thing. He was super sex. Everyone was like into him, but like just because he did that, I don't think that men took him less serious.
No,
you know what I'm saying? That just extra solidified. Like, you're fine, you're sexy, your body's amazing, it's rock hard, solid. Like me as a woman, I want to buy into it, and me as a man, I like your song. Right. Because now I'm thinking about myself, how you look. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so for women, there's like this double standard that you can't be sexy and be smart. You can't be sexy and be, taken seriously.
Yeah. And then I think the room to grow is kind of like, you got to double down in it. Again, it's like, if this is what you choose, like, go forward in it. And if you choose a new path, you got to stick with it, because it's nothing like, one thing for the public to shame you, but then the other thing for them to shame you and to recognize that you're not even being authentic in this change. It's kind of like, if you want to do this, you got to go for it. Like, Miley Cyrus, another reason why folks are probably like, because she did it, and then kind of right back onto country, like, went back on the range and was just like, okay, now I'm going back to, and got the opportunity to do that. Where others, it's kind of like, Megan is still very much married to her pastor, Devon Franklin, and living, and it's a very authentic marriage for them. It really much.
But I think with her, she was like, I embrace the fact that I'm sexy. My husband married me this way.
That's real.
He likes it. I like it, and me, because she got the backlash of wearing that dress at the BET Awards a few years ago, and it was like, well, mind you, she didn't know she was presenting, you know, the gospel thing. She thought it was going to be hip hop. She didn't have a change of clothes. Whatever her story was, she was presenting in this very sexy, plunging outfit. Yeah. And people were really like, yo, you're a pastor's wife. What are you doing up there? And you're presenting a gospel category in the sexiest dress you could find on the rack, right? I feel like for her as a person, I think she does a great job of embracing her sexy, because she still wears tight outfits and dresses, and she's definitely not buttoned up to the T and being the whole like first lady vibes. Like that's definitely not her, and she embraces that. And I think her husband does a great job supporting that and being like, you can be sexy and be
he definitely has
and praise the Lord, honey. Okay,
which is good.
You could be sexy and praise the Lord. Amen.
Yeah.
Okay. Amen to that. But I think for me, I think like what you're saying is Halle's all the way with it. Not even just Halle, but like if you're gonna be sexy, commit.
All I'm saying is commit.
Because she's saying commit. I'm saying if you're gonna be sexy, just know that definitely comes with people looking at you crazy, people not taking you seriously. I'm not saying that's correct, like that's how people should look at you, but that is just real. You know what I'm saying? So I agree, if you're gonna do it, commit, but just know, you committing to that, you're committing to an entire...
A lot of things that come with it.
Oh, you're committing to, you know, criticism. You're fine with people looking at you and objectifying you and drooling and lusting over you, because that's now what your thing is. I think we phoned a friend and he was basically saying like, you know, guys are coming to Chloe's page now, not because they want to hear your beautiful voice, darling. You know what I'm saying? They're coming to see that body. They're coming to see the silhouette challenge and the underwear, Palo Santoing the room, honey. Like, that's what they're coming to your page to see. They're not coming to hear you sing. So,
not at all. So what is it actually selling? That kind of goes back to that. If you're using this to then sell more records and you don't see the records moving up,
I think it'll like I said earlier, I just think it will open her up to a different
audience
group of people that will start
more opportunities
looking at her, because sex really does sell. But I'm just saying there's always backlash when it comes to sex, because like as a society we're like super obsessed with it, and then also like we give it away because we want to see it, but then at the same time we're very like hold it steadfast and close, if that makes sense, right? Like we love it, we want to see it, but then we criticize you for it. So it's like a crazy catch-122 with that.
Totally. But guys, you know, we work really hard to do this show, and we really had to clip that, you know, just to really make sure that you'll know that, and also know that the best way to repay us is to share the show with a friend, and to subscribe to our YouTube, our Apple, our Spotify, podcast pages. All of it is at the Black Creators Club. And so when you do, please comment on the show. Please write in a review. Just literally leave 5 stars if you feel like, which we know you will, because it really helps us. And we will read fan shout outs on air if you have any. If you have any questions, cool news, topics that you think we'd want us to cover. Again, you can contact us at the Black Creators Club at gmail.com. and or follow us on our socials, everything at the Black Creators Club.
Okay. Yes. Let them know, darling. Maven check-in. Do you have something to check in with?
Yes.
Oh, okay. What you checking in with, boo?
Girl, I mean, even though this was, as we know, the first weekend where LA opened back up outdoor dining.
I've been out 3 times.
You were outside and I was inside. I was like, let me get this. I was just catching up so much on Netflix, to be honest. I've literally have not watched it in so long, and so I was.
What you been doing?
Bridgerton up, like literally. What I've been watching other stuff and or doing podcast things. You know, we were out and about. I was watching Bridgerton. I love it. I'm all about the rom-coms type of shows, and this would definitely hit the nail on the head with that. If you love The Crown, that's definitely something to watch. So I was watching that, and we were talking about Bling Empire. I started that as well. Honestly, the opulence is for me, the reality TV aspect. I think one of the producers also produced the Kardashians, so I heard. So a friend told me, so I'm like, okay, this makes sense. And so I was doing that and just getting my life, like cleaning my apartment, listening to vibes, doing laundry. I was a full-on homebody. So we had opposite weekends this weekend, but I was a full-on homebody and loved every minute of it.
I was absolutely 110,000% getting my life together, because I've been out 3 times since the world's opened back up. Okay, I went out Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Girl.
Okay. Yeah, Saturday actually was really fun. I hung out with 2 of these girls that I met at the gym. Well, it's like a workout, like we work out outside, so
yeah,
everyone take a deep breath. And we just hung out. We went to Santa Monica, and it was just really fun. And I was telling Akilah, I was like, there's just something about being white and being liberated in, like, I just, you know, I feel like, I was telling her, like, I'm low-key kind of nervous. I'm normally the youngest one in the group, and then with these 2, I'm the oldest. And I'm like, I mean, it's 23, 24, and then I'm 25, right? So it's not like crazy, but I'm normally the baby, okay? Like, I'm not used to this, number 1. And then number 2, I was like, girl, you know, I don't know, like, their fun be different fun. Like, their fun just be different types of fun. And I haven't been in this arena in a little minute, because obviously we've been shut down for a whole year. So I was like, girl, I'm nervous, like they might have me doing something crazy or something. But I had the best time. It was so much fun. I definitely feel like I fit into the vibe a little bit, but at the same time, like, they are all the way with it. Like, yeah, they are a lot of fun, but it's definitely a different type of fun than hanging out with, like, just me and my other girlfriends, you know? For sure. You need
that difference sometimes. That's dope.
You need the difference sometimes. It gives a little excitement to your life.
Yes.
Spice up your life. Every boy and every girl.
Like, I'm gonna just 2-step to this.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get into the BCC Spotlight, the Black's Excellent News.
Yes.
Black on black, my thoughts so black on black, my skin is so black, I'm rocking that black on black.
Highlights.
Yeah.
Okay, so first I want to say happy birthday to Oprah.
Happy birthday, Oprah, Auntie O.
Okay, girl.
Belated, I guess.
Yes. Belated birthday. You know she about to kick you behind with the Auntie O. Okay, you know her and Gail don't be liking no Auntie O. Her and Ava DuVernay as well, honey. They don't be liking none of that.
Call me and we'll talk about it. Let me know why you don't like it.
LOL. I feel like they just don't really be understanding the culture. It's okay though. It's okay.
Mary don't like it either, which I understand because Mary is like,
I mean, Mary 50. Her body is.
She is snatched. Okay.
I mean, she's snatched more than I am.
Listen,
like, let me tell you.
goals.
But Oprah's birthday was on the 29th, so we wanted to just shout that out.
Yes.
Another thing was that Wendy Williams dropped her movie and her documentary on Lifetime this weekend, on Saturday.
That's something I did miss. I need to watch.
Oh, see, Miss Homebody over here missed that.
Catch it, right?
But I saw it and I went out 3 days in a row. But that's besides the point. Yeah, no, it was really good. I think that she definitely dropped gems. She was spilling all the tea, honey, like abortions, cheatations. You know, job firings and all of the things,
Coke mommy.
the Coke mommy, the little, she was sniffing that white girl, honey.
Yes.
She was getting her life. I'm proud of her though, because she
she's successful. Wendy Williams is successful. So.
And she did it all on her own merit. So boom, and she didn't have to show a titty or shake any type of booty, okay? She done did that. She did that. And then the last thing.
Oh, yes, Beyonce. She's getting real icy with us. She has a new line dropping, coming soon. She didn't name a date anytime soon, but coming soon. It's usually Ivy Park. This one is Icy Park. We see Gucci Mane being featured, so I think that collab is gonna be a nice one. So we're just, girl, we'll see. I would say I can't wait, but I don't know if I'm gonna be even able to purchase because everything, the way this always gets sold out and sent to the same influencer celebrities, I'm like, okay, do we?
We just need to figure out how to get on the PR list.
How do we get on the list?
We need to start talking to some PR people. We just want to be on the list, hunty. That's it. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We had a great time. Please, I know this is like a controversial topic, so please comment below with all of your opinions, ideas, and thoughts because we want to hear and know them. But you can find Akilah chatting about business, pop culture, and lifestyle on her Instagram. Where?
At Akilah Ffriend, 2 F's, because it's extra fun.
Okay. She's extra fun, extra friendly, honey. Hello. She's ready for you.
Hello. Well, after this episode, I don't know if I want to say I'm extra friendly.
Oh.
Right. Extra something.
And I'm EboneChatman, and you can find my Millennial Visionary series where I'm interviewing Black entrepreneurs on my Instagram at EboneChatman12. And of course, please keep in mind the Black Creators Club, and you can find us on Instagram at the Black Creators Club. Thank you so much for joining us, and remember to always abide by your ABCs.
Always be creative.